This video is about our 3 days visiting Prague, our first time ever in the beautiful city called the Mother of Cities. Our river cruise ended in Nuremberg and we took a bus, about a 3.5-hour ride from Nuremberg to Prague. The city is actually located on the Vltava River, which is the longest river in the Czech Republic. The city is also called the City of 100 Spires. It's broken into 22 districts and then smaller sub-neighborhoods called boroughs. Most of the boroughs we visited were around the center of town, and the hotel we stayed at was just on the border of Old Town. It was the Old Town Hilton Hotel.
Sherry, where's our restaurant? Where is it?
Supposedly right there.
Oh, there it is.
Our first evening out, we came upon a wonderful little restaurant called Zvonitza, and it's actually in an old bell tower, the Jindrisska tower, also called Henry's Tower, and it's wonderfully kept as the original bell tower, including the actual bell itself. It was perfect for a romantic first evening in Prague. And I don't know why, but Richard loves to videotape me eating. And this salad was probably the best salad I've ever had, so of course he couldn't resist. Our first day out, we jumped on the hop-on, hop-off bus tour. We started out in Newtown, also called Nove Mesto. Saw the National Museum, founded in 1818, and glimpsed the Žižkov TV tower, which was voted the ugliest building in the world one year. The Wenceslas Square, lots of shopping, and the really interesting dancing house, which is also called the Fred and Ginger. Off to lesser town across the bridge, called Mala Strana by the locals. It's also considered the Baroque Pearl of Prague and the most romantic part of Prague. It's like a fairy tale neighborhood nestled between the river, the Prague Castle, and the surrounding hills. St. Nicholas Church was built between 1704 and 1755 on the site of a former 13th century Gothic church. Prague is known for lots of bohemian touches, lead crystals, baked goods, and of course, street performers. Hradcany is a rolled dough wrapped around a stick and then grilled and topped with sugar and walnut mix. It's a very popular pastry in Prague. It originated in the mid-19th century, when there were these pastry shops all over town. So naturally, I had to try one. Leaving lesser town, we are approaching the Mala Strana Bridge Tower, or the lesser town tower, which will actually take you from lesser town onto the Charles Bridge. The Charles Bridge as a view over the Vltava River. And the bridge was constructed in 1356 under King Charles IV. It was actually finished in the early 15th century. The bridge is the center of a lot of great energy and activity. Entertainers, artists, vendors. There are about 30 statues lining the bridge, mostly Baroque, 17th, 18th century. A lot of them are copies that have been built for preservation reasons. Leaving the Charles Bridge through the Old Town Bridge Tower, which is a Gothic monument built late 14th century, takes you into Old Town.
I have no clue. Maybe the astronomical clock. There's several clocks.
Here we are exploring Old Town Square, which is located between Wenceslas Square and the Charles Bridge. We finally found the astronomical clock, which is a medieval clock installed around 1410. It's the third oldest in the world, and it's still operating. The Jan Hus Memorial was built around 1915 honoring Jan Hus, a religious reformer, actually burned at the stake for his beliefs. Then we came across this interesting fountain built around 1560. The Powder Tower was one of the original 13 city gates. The Municipal House is an Art Nouveau building. Next, we headed off to the Castle District, known by the locals as the Hradcany district, built around the 9th century. Prague Castle is the official office of the President of the Czech Republic. The Bohemian crown jewels are kept in the castle in a hidden room. Prague Castle is the largest ancient castle in the world at 70,000 square meters or 750,000 square feet. The beautiful St. Vitus Cathedral is the seat of the Archbishop of Prague. It is considered the largest, most important church in Prague.
Originál. dying dance or whatever. I know that dance they do.
Always a highlight of our trip is our bike rides. We signed up for the eBike 7 Best Views tour, which took us all over the city at amazing view spots. We started downtown or in the lesser town area. We were able to see the U.S. Embassy, which occupies an historic Schönborn Palace. Our tour guide, George, took us up to Petrin Park with our first phenomenal view, looking down at the city. And the Petrin Lookout Tower, also known as their local Eiffel Tower. Making our way next, we saw the Strahov Monastery. The abbey was founded around 1143. There's a monastic brewery up there, still operating. We have nice little cafes, restaurants. We rode down to a little city called Loretta. which has a famous church on a pilgrimage site, which is a replica of the Holy House. The 27 bells play 1,000 times we greet thee every hour. Next to that is the Chernin Palace, which is the current Czech Foreign Ministry. The Schwarzenberg Palace is one of the most well-preserved Renaissance palaces in Prague. It has the rich black and white sgraffito decorations on the walls. Sgraffito is a decoration that's achieved by scratching through the surface to reveal the contrasting color. Next we headed to Letna Park, which has a beautiful commanding view of Prague's Old Town, or Stare Mesto, as the locals call it. Letna was originally called a summer camp or place to sunbathe. The 75-foot-tall metronome was erected in 1991 after the demolition of the Joseph Stalin monument. Also up in Letna Park is a lovely little beer garden where we stopped, had some refreshments, and looked at the spectacular views of the city. The Summer Garden restaurant up here was an original Italian villa built in 1893. The Rudolphinium is the current home of the Czech Philharmonic Orchestra. It's located in the Jan Polak Square.
This is Mr. Antonín Dvorak, the statue there. Mr. Antonín Dvorak, you can see that there is a written Dvorak Hall. So Mr. Dvorak was very famous composer.
Across the street is the old Jewish cemetery, one of the largest in Europe. Down the street, we were able to see the World War II Victims Monument.
Someone came here, we don't know who, but someone in 1980, right on this wall, that the John Lennon was killed in New York City, and then he tried to paint there the picture of John Lennon's face. We don't know.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, brotherhood of man. Oh, imagine all the people sharing all the It's easy if you try.